5 Mega Drive games on my Mega CD? This is getting out of hand! I've made no secret of my love for a good compilation on this channel, as we've previously discussed the Mega Games series for the Mega Drive and the Master Games compilation for Master System. But now it's time to turn our attention to the Mega CD and discuss SEGA Classics Arcade Collection, which was originally the pack-in game that came with new Mega CD purchases. Originally released in North America in 1992 and only featuring 4 games, this was expanded to 5 games for the 1993 re-release that came packed with Mega CDs sold in Europe and North America. The compilation includes enhanced ports of Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Super Monaco GP, Columns and The Revenge of Shinobi, making for a pretty enticing bundle of Sega first-party titles. I'm a big fan of the game's presentation with its lovely FMV Sega logo animation and grandiose game selection screen with animated game titles that are soundtracked by a fantastic orchestral piece. The elaborate presentation doesn't stop there, because if you own a European copy, then you're also treated to a box containing 2 massive instruction manuals that include full instructions for all 5 games in 6 different languages. That's why they call it the PAL region. We're all friends here! So let's delve into this box of goodies and have a look at all 5 games included and what has been done to enhance the experience for Mega CD owners. Golden Axe is an iconic sword and sorcery beat-em-up that stands out thanks to its setting and enemy variety, coming across like a playable Ray Harryhausen movie. This was unique at the time, as most beat-em-ups were of the street-brawling persuasion like Double Dragon. It is by no means the best game in the franchise, but it's a solid enough start to the series that has plenty of iconic moments. Not an awful lot has been done to the presentation in this Mega CD version. Voice samples are no longer bit crushed thanks to the CD storage format, and the soundtrack has been swapped to that of the arcade version. For some bizarre reason, the 2-player feature has been entirely stripped from this port, meaning you can't play the game in cooperative multiplayer. This is a bit of a bummer in all honesty, and kind of strips a lot of the fun from this title, as it really benefits from being played with a friend. Streets of Rage is another iconic Sega beat-em-up, but is not a game with arcade origins, despite this compilation's title being SEGA Classics Arcade Collection. This is a simple port of the Mega Drive game with enhanced voice samples, including my absolute favourite death cry of all time. I will absolutely be making this noise when I pass away on my deathbed. The original Streets of Rage is undeniably overshadowed by its sequels, but it's still a fun time with a great soundtrack by Yuzo Koshiro. The controls feel a little stiff and restrictive nowadays, but you can get used to it and still have a lot of fun punching and kicking your way through hordes of gang members. Super Monaco GP for the Mega Drive is a decent little racing game that sadly loses a lot of its visual flair in the porting process. The arcade game is just a much more interesting thing to look at, with loads of roadside detail and scaling sprite work that is sadly lost in this port. Regardless, there's still some challenging F1 fun to be had here, and the menus really sell the glamorous racing lifestyle and TV-like presentation. This Mega CD version enhances the voice samples with much clearer CD quality ones that are leagues better than the Mega Drive samples, which were so bit crushed that they were basically unintelligible. It's Columns again! Man, it feels like I managed to talk about this one on the channel so much due to its inclusion in so many compilations. This Match 3 puzzler is not a particularly deep game, but it's a good little time waster if you're a puzzle game fan. The Flash Columns mode is the real star of the show, as you can create these randomly generated little puzzle boxes where you have to clear a specific jewel buried at the bottom of the playfield. It's good fun! There's not a lot that gets enhanced for this version. There's basically a new CD quality title theme, and that's your lot. Finally, we have The Revenge of Shinobi. Probably the most extensive game in this collection, this follow-up to the original Shinobi game sees the return of Joe Musashi as he takes on the Neo-Z clan in an effort to rescue his fiancée. Once again, this is a game that feels a little redundant compared to its immediate follow-up, Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master, but there's still some decent ninja fun to be had here, even if the controls are a little more restrictive. Another great Yuzo Koshiro soundtrack rounds out the audio presentation, and the Mega CD version enhances the voice samples again so that they're no longer bit crushed. Not that there's much to really experience on that front, with the noise that Joe makes when activating a ninjutsu being the only one I regularly experience. I like this new sample though because it sounds like Joe is passing a gallstone. And that's SEGA Classics Arcade Collection. I wouldn't say this is a great showpiece for the Mega CD due to how little it does to really show off its capabilities, but it's a great way of getting 5 SEGA first-party classics, even if Golden Axe is missing its multiplayer. The enhancements are so minor that you'd have to be really familiar with the Mega Drive originals to notice what has been done, and even then the changes are so superficial that they don't actually change anything meaningful to the player. Regardless, I still have a soft spot for this collection because it was actually my introduction to all of these games, except Columns and Super Monaco GP, which were the only games I had previous experience with. Thankfully, with this game being a pack-in title, it's still very easy to source and buy cheap, so if you're looking to collect Mega CD games, then this one won't break the bank.